Yeah.
Yo, what up, guys? I'm just gonna jump right into the video here. There's a lot of questions after my last video, a lot of comments, a lot of likes. So I'm gonna jump in and show y'all how I did this, how it's wired, how ghetto it looks. So anyway, all right. So here's what's happening. I ended up having to wire in the light socket. There is a bulb that goes in here. I just don't have it in yet. This is the only way I could get it to work with this light socket in here. I couldn't. My goal was to eliminate this so I don't have this ghetto-ness hanging out right here, but I can't get it to work right. So I ended up painting the bulbs black. First I used engine paint and that got real hot and started bubbling. So obviously we don't want that. I'm trying header paint now. I just painted them a couple days ago. I still need to bake the paint onto the bulb. You're supposed to bake it at temperature. It's header paint. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to put them on the turn signal light, which is the brightest light on there. And we'll see if that bakes it enough. So anyway, it's the only way I can get them to work with this stupid bulb in here. I wanted that gone, but I can't figure it out. So for now, that's what's going to work. I got these weather packs. This is a 4-pin from Speedway. These things are expensive. They're like 12 bucks a fucking piece. Ridiculous. So here's your switchback LED box. This is what makes these lights do what they do. They have 3 wires on them. They have one end, which goes to the harness, the actual car harness. You have a gray, a red, and a black. The gray is the turn signal. The red is park light. The black is ground. Coming out of the box, there's a white, a blue, and a yellow. So my drive lights, which are the white lights, they are hooked up to the white, which is for power, and the blue, which is ground. The yellow wire is not hooked up on this end. On this side of the box, the gray wire for the turn signal is hooked into the turn signal circuit, or this dark blue wire, on the headlight harness. So in order to get this to work right, I had to wire my amber turn signal separate. As you see those wires going around the box right there, those are the amber turn signals. They are wired separately from this box. I could not get them to work wired through the box. So what that allows this box to do is shut off the drive lights, because it is getting a turn signal circuit. It shuts off the drive lights so that the amber light can flash. The red and gray right here, sorry for the bounciness. The red and gray are, the red wire is the power for my amber turn signal, and the gray goes to this box. So I had to wire, like I said, I had to wire the amber turn signal separately. It is grounded separately as well. That top black wire right there, this top black wire is the ground for my turn signal, and it comes out this end, and I grounded it up here to the frame. So it's grounded completely separate. That's the only way I can get it to work. You can't ground that with the light circuit, otherwise it won't work right for some reason. I mean, there's nothing else that I had to do here. This is what I did to get this to work right. So if y'all want to do something like this, I highly recommend looking up this company, Osnium, and ordering one of these fancy little boxes. And then you'll have to wire it the way I did. You can either find drive lights that are wired separately inside of themselves, or you're going to have to use strip lights like I did. The only reason I did what I did was because I fucking custom molded this bumper for these lights. And then I come to find out they aren't going to work right. So I had to do something, obviously. And this way, hey, I got a nicer LED. They're not just some cheap eBay LED. Now they're a nice LED. Hopefully they'll last twice as longer and they'll be twice as bright. So the only shitty thing about this setup is the fact that I have to run this stupid light. And we'll just find out how that's going to work. Like I said, I just painted the light bulbs. So I'm hoping this header paint I have better luck with. I'm gonna fasten all this stuff up here a little better. Right now it's just kind of hanging here because I got it all thrown together to make sure it worked. As far as the headlights, let's jump out here and look at a headlight real quick. So here's those headlights that y'all saw. These are just eBay headlights. I found them on eBay. You can buy them through other companies, but honestly, I didn't see any difference in the whatever you want to call it, manufacturing, or I didn't see any difference between the headlights that were $250 and these ones, which were $120. I didn't really see any fucking difference. So that's what these are. These were like $120 for a set of 4. They come with, each side has its own power and ground. I ran the 2 powers together, 2 grounds together and 2 powers together. Obviously not hooked to each other, but and then I went and got some pigtails off of like a Chevy pickup. I think these go to the wheel speed sensor. I just cut them off, spliced in the wire, soldered everything together. So obviously the 2 powers go into the green wire, and then the 2 grounds come to this tannish kind of wire, and then I wired it accordingly to the inside of the engine bay. If you do run these lights, you are going to have to modify these headlight buckets. Come on, phone. I had to trim out these headlight buckets after I powder coated them. That kind of pissed me off, but oh well. So you'll have to trim this out to get this stupid giant boot to fit back here. I am currently swapping over headlights. They come with some shitty little yellow ass looking headlights. So I swapped over to some Sylvania ZXEs, which have a more of a hyper white kind of look. So it should match my headlights a little better. It almost looks kind of bluish. Let me kind of show you what I did that way. So all I ended up doing was finding a spot on the fuse panel inside the car that came on when the lights came on. So it only sees power when the park lights come on. And I ran a 10 gauge wire, which is probably a little overkill, but I ran a 10 gauge wire. I hooked it into that port, ran it out through here. You can see it right here. Goes into my fender well. Comes out through here, and then it runs up to about here, and then I spliced it out. You can kind of see it right here. I spliced it out with a 12 gauge that runs this way, and it ends right about here, and then a 12 gauge that runs that way. So the 12 gauge runs over there. I splice it into one pigtail, or the 2 pigtails, and then they hook into the headlights. Those headlights are grounded separately from the headlight circuit, because I was just afraid that they wouldn't work right. So I grounded those headlights at the same point that I grounded my turn signal lights. Remember how I told you I had to ground the turn signals separately from the headlight circuit because they would not work. Something must be interference in there. So I grounded the headlights with the turn signal lights on the frame on each side over there. That's how I did my LED wires, guys. It's not all that difficult. The only difficult part, the only reason it took me so damn long was because I was trying to get rid of that headlight, that light socket, and I just couldn't figure it out. So that's how we're going to rock them for now. Maybe eventually, if I can either do some more learning, if I can do some more research and maybe get a little smarter, I could figure it out. But if in time I can't, then I'm probably going to end up trying to take it to one of these high-end shops we have around here and just say, this is how it works. I want it to work like that without the fucking bulb sockets, and I don't want any issues with the dash lights. So we'll see if that works. That's my update for y'all. I mean, I got more stuff to update, but this is already almost a 9-minute video, so that's all I'm going to throw at you right now. Maybe in the next day or two, I'll throw another update at you. So, all right, y'all, thanks a lot. I appreciate all your subscriptions. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all the questions, the comments, everything. Just keep asking questions. That's why I keep doing this. So, all right, y'all, later.